When it's come to, folks are migrating to Kubernetes, how much really velocity traffic you're seeing there that folks are planning, and what is driving it? It is all really based on the fact that they do need to move to Kubernetes, or it's also based on the market trends that, hey, Kubernetes is where the future is?
Well, there are both scenarios. It is a common scenario that certain development departments they use Kubernetes because it's just so ubiquitous. It's just everywhere. Um, that comes to the cost that operating workloads on Kubernetes with Kubernetes clusters, and assuming that there's a multitude of Kubernetes clusters, is not as operational efficient as running, for example, a single Cloud Foundry. Well, those statements, you always have to, see the context. For example, if you have a fistful of Kubernetes clusters, you're all into one infrastructure vendor, and they are not equal when it comes to how comfortable it is to run Kubernetes. So let's pick, for example, Google Cloud Platform, which is, rather comfortable in creating Kubernetes clusters. For example, in contrast to AWS, where it's more of a pain. So if you comfortable with that API vendor login, then managing a fistful of Kubernetes clusters isn't a big problem. You can definitely solve it, and running application there is fine. However, if you have thousands of them, a Cloud Foundry with its CF push experience and its underlying BOSH, is a very nice thing to have, especially if you don't want that vendor login. And that's still the case. And then there are the departments within those organizations that have special requirements. For example, they have legacy applications that don't fit the 12-factor model. They're not cloud native. They store data in the file system, and they have other ties that somehow, let's say they are lift and shift applications taken from virtual machines or physical machines even. I think that's Kubernetes territory. If you, for example, have a workload that you purchased that comes with Kubernetes as an assumption, as its operational model, let's say the alternative to what used to be an appliance, Kubernetes is the first choice. So that's what I'm saying is, like, one of the things we need to do with our clients is an analysis of the workloads they have on average. That usually falls into different categories, and for each category, a technical solution can be drafted that provides an operational model with a sustainable, economy to it. And then the decision for technology is made, including Kubernetes. And also not about whether to use Kubernetes, but also how should a Kubernetes cluster look like? Because it's different whether to use a vanilla Kubernetes that's just a plain Kubernetes cluster, or let's say having a Kubernetes cluster template that comes with various Kubernetes extensions. For example, a service mesh, a set of operators, a logging and metric collecting extension, so that the developers deploying to this Kubernetes cluster already have like their mini platform that's tailored to their particular needs. And this is something that we focus on in anynines these days, is talking to clients, making those analysis. What are their workloads looking like? What do their developers need? And then help to provide the automation that the lifecycle management of these clusters, with a growing number of them, provide operational efficiencies that are as close to large Cloud Foundry platforms as possible.